Never get used to monologues, never disagreeing and so sure. You are a skill I'll take a few lives to explore. I will never let you down. I will never let you. Hi everyone and welcome, my name is ThomC. Today we're going to be checking out Oscillation Strings by Ben Osterhouse, and this is not the first Ben Osterhouse library I review on this channel, so if you've watched the other ones you'll surely like this one, well I think. They will be listed in the description, and before we actually check it out, feel free to subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see more sample library reviews, tips, vlogs and more, and some of my music as well. So I hope you'll like this one. Let's check it out. This is the library's user interface. We've got 4 different instruments. We've got bass, cello, viola and violin, and we can purge the instruments that we don't use. We've got on the left master volume and reverb level, and then we've got 2 modes, swell and expression. In the swell mode we're basically using the pre-recorded arcs, and we can change the attack and decay of those, and we can also change the compression, but it's not a compressor, it's actually an envelope effect that is actually explained in Ben's video that will be in the description. So actually let's play with the bass and just play one note. So if I turn the compression all the way up, there's not as much of an arc happening, you know, so. Like the lower parts of the arc actually brought up with the compressor. And then we've got an expression setting where we can change the expression of the sound, or the dynamics of the sound via the mod wheel. And this is basically changing between 2 dynamic layers. Then on the right we've got legato and legato samples, and when it's not selected we can basically make the sound oscillate. So we can play a chord, and we can play the notes of the chord at different timings. Which actually creates that nice oscillation that the library is all about. So then we've got legato. So the legato samples are actual samples that were recorded. So there's a bit of a learning curve to this one. So let's play a note. So you need to play the next note before the end of the beat. That's what it, in order to make it work. You've got portamento. So 2 different legato styles, bow change and portamento. And then we've got the speed, so you've got 90 BPM, so some of the samples were recorded, or phrases were recorded at 90 BPM, and some of those were recorded at 120. So, eighth. Quarter. At 120 BPM quarter. So this may sound like the same thing, you know, on different tempos, the samples will actually be stretched at 90 BPM. So you will actually hear a difference between the 120 BPM quarter and the 90 BPM quarter. And then you've got half. Very nice. And you can change the speed even further here by doubling it if you want to. So this is like a tremolo kind of effect, and it can get in the way of realism, but that's not necessarily a bad thing if you want to be creative. Regular, and then half, and set it to 120, and then half of that, which is then very slow. So you can change the attack and decay of the swells. Let's set it to 120 quarter. Slow down the attack. Speed it up. So this is the number of beats that it takes for the arc to actually take place. 8. So this is very cool, and that's why it makes this library more flexible than a regular phrase library, and that's usually the case with Ben's libraries, which is nice. So you can hear that they're, well, because the speed is so slow, that the samples are stretched here. Play with the expression. So very nice sound overall, and you know, the sound of the strings in general is quite smooth, and very often with Ben's libraries so far, the ones I've tried, they're always very soft, and there is quite a bit of detail, but it's never aggressive, so I like that about his libraries. Okay, let's check out the cello now. I think it's got a beautiful sound. Change the speed. So if we double it, we end up having a not so realistic performance. And this is what I meant about the attack and decay of the arcs. Listen to that. So the arc is really slowly building up. Then we can change that. And it just changes the whole wave of the arc. So that's why it's a pretty flexible library. And also, I think it's a great way of just getting very, very realistic performances, you know, straight away. So again, even in the higher register, the cello is still very smooth and beautiful sounding. Okay, let's check out the viola now. Again, very, very smooth sound. Let's turn up the reverb a bit. The reverb is very well chosen. Well done, Ben. Okay, so this is the violin. Let's actually slow it down as much as we can and play with the expression. Very nice sound again. So also something I didn't tell you about, but you can change the mode via key switch here. It's just very, very soft. I love it. Really love the sound of all of these instruments. Let's try the legato samples. So it also works with chords. Great sound. Okay, let's now check out oscillation strings in context. In the first example, we've got a cello and a viola, and then we've got a solo violin on top, and the solo violin is actually Spitfire's order solo violin. So let's check it out. Just so you know, this is the solo, this is the dry sound of the solo violin. There's no added reverb to it. But I think it, you know, it works really well with the oscillation strings. Let's check out the second example. In the second example, I've used the bass, I've used some drums, and the drums are actually VI1, but you know, the VI1 drums by Verve 2. And we've also got a distorted synth and ambient synth that also come from VI1. Okay. Let's check it out. Just one moment. Okay, forgot to tell you that there was a cello as well. And in the end, we've got a legato violin that is played by Oscillation Strings, cello, and we've got Niue, that is actually a free library that was reviewed on this channel, and then we've got a snare from the chamber orchestra, and then we've got Winter Voices that was also reviewed on this channel. That's a free library. So Niue and Winter Voices are both free libraries that are available on pianobook.co.uk. Okay, let's check it out. Alright, let's now check out Oscillation Strings in the context of one of my songs called Hypothermic Love, and it's available on my album of the same name. In this example, I've used the cello, viola, bass and violin, and my voice on top of it. Let's listen to it. Closer to a hypothermic love. My pulse is setting its own different clock. Time zones, I'm moving us apart a little more. I'll never get used to monologues, never disagreeing and so sure. You are a skill I'll take a few lives to explore. So this was Oscillation Strings by Ben Osterhouse, and this is another great library. Love your libraries, Ben. You don't have that issue with, you know, realism because it is a phrase recorded library, but it's got enough flexibility for you to go somewhere else and you actually experiment with it. and it works well with my other libraries, and I think with my voice. Let me know what you think in the comments. And yeah, feel free to subscribe again, and to maybe buy me a coffee if you'd like to support me, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye bye.